Actually, when I do this, it's falling out. And many people have that. I know I'm gonna do it, it's just a matter of time. Until my mind tells the scissors and the shaver to actually do it. So let's check. This is how things are now. This is my hair. And the back. Yeah, my hair is still... Actually, when I do this, it's falling out. And many people have that. You know what's faster than this? Just cutting it, shaving it. I'll help you, buddy. Now, I have two things to say. Actually, more. I can actually still make this work. I can. And there's always this thing behind my head, my mind, telling me that I can always make it work. Just cut it shorter and trying to make it work. Yeah, I can always, just drink and continue to keep drinking. The pulse is gonna come back. But I've made a choice. Number one, this feels like I'm standing on the cliff looking into the waters, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but not until I make that jump I can experience the feeling and the relief. I know it feels like that, but it's hard to jump. Number two, I choose to focus on my future and my mental health, not on people's opinion of my hair and my looks. So mental health is really the most important in my situation. Yeah, here we go. Just get a few cuts. Screw that. I don't have the equipment, but in South Africa we say 'n boer maak 'n plan, meaning a farmer makes a plan. Actually, I don't really know how to use it because I never use it. This is so weird. Oh yeah. I've been thinking of this moment a long time, and it's happening. I think it's not really scary because I'll already have the mindset that I'm gonna cut it no matter what. I think the most difficult part is just to explain to let other people see my vision. That's, I think, the most difficult part, and I don't expect them to. But yeah, that's fine. Okay, actually, I like it so far. It feels so awesome. It feels weird, but it really feels good. I don't think for a moment I actually can't wait to finish, and I'm really upset I didn't buy a better one. Yeah, I know this is for many people a weird place to stop, so I'll just keep going. Ooh, as you can see, I did it. I still have the back, part of the back to shave, but I think I'll end it here with just saying thank you so much to Harry, the channel, for inspiring many people to take this leap. It's hard to jump, but I've jumped, and it's actually not that bad. It feels light and it feels great touching my head. I think I'm not gonna act like I'm really surprised and weirded out, because after 12 years of struggling with this, it just feels so much better to value my opinion about myself, just feeling good and have a great mental health going forward, rather than being validated and seeking validation to go forward in life. Focus on my health, my family, my studies, and mental, physical health. Thanks for watching, and maybe see part 2 where people react, or just telling you more about what's happening in Japan. またね。さらば。
So thanks so much for getting in touch. I've been quite looking forward to this conversation, really, because I know there's lots of things we can probably relate to. I mean, take me back from the start. Like, when for you, like, when did it you first kind of notice those first signs of the hair thinning out?
I've noticed this since I was 17.
Oh wow! Okay.
But I've been really good at hiding and getting good medication here in Japan. I'm 30, turning 32 this year. I've been in Japan 8 years. When I was about 17, I could see like my hairline here, just like wasn't really great, and at the back, it's just a little open. It's not really hectic. I was always, checking out in the mirror. I didn't even care about my face. I never saw I don't even know how I look. I'm just looking like, hey, there's the mirror, clothes, hair, all okay, let's go. So yeah, it's gonna be a shock seeing me shaving off, all my hair. But anyhow, so through the years, I was trying to. I did a lot of sport, and I didn't want to go to the sea anymore, go swimming, because I'm like, it's gonna start to show, and I don't like it. And initially I thought it's because I didn't like it, but actually I never asked myself really smart questions like, why don't I like it? It's because other people might see me as, someone as getting bald. So just before coming to Japan about 8 years ago, I decided, hey, actually, I want to shave all my hair off because this is going to bother me. And I'm like, I'm going to come to Japan and see if they have any medication. If they do, I'll try it. If they don't, I'll just shave it off. And I thought, that's not going to happen because my hair, like I've been always, just the same hairstyle for, I don't know, forever. And I came here and also my wife, we got married and she didn't really care about my hair. She said, your hair's too long, please cut it short. And I told her, like, I like it this way. This is my style. And every time she's like, do you want your hair line back, or because you're always checking in the mirror? And I told her, yeah, I actually want medication and help. I mean, she's like, you don't need it, but if you want it, we can go to someone. Long story short, I'm going to show you. Yeah, this is quite expensive. I do have a few more packs. I buy them in like 6-month batches, and they gave me like a spray, and they also gave 3 kinds of pills and injections into my scalp. It really hurt for like a few days. It was really bad. It was maybe a month, and I got my almost full hair back. Hairline not perfect, and I was still not happy. So I know for a fact now, it's not about how it looked. It's just, hair is hair. It's a mindset thing. I know it's my problem. It's not how people see me. So, and the last few months, I just made a huge changes in my life, putting family first, putting health and studies first, and saying health, that also includes mental health. People say go to the gym. Like, mental health is much more important than physical health. The old go bald and gym. Many people say that. I say take care of your mental health, and then you will be able to do what's right for your body. So yeah, I have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, dude, really interesting,
yeah.
man. I mean, I was just sat there listening because, I want to let you go with it, but really, really interesting. The first point to kind of touch on, it was a really key thing you mentioned about how, despite, being able to get some treatments and use those and, get the hair back to a reasonable, like you said, a pretty good standard, obviously not perfect, but decent enough. It's still, and this is something I've like thought about and hypothesized for a while now, it still wasn't enough to sort of make you completely forget about it and like, right, I'm 100% happy with this now. And honestly, I'm that has always been my one like major gripe with all of these different treatments and things that are out there, because like you said, it really is such a mental thing. Once you know it's happening, the hair is going, the writing's on the wall, like it's just it's written in your genetics, that's the way it's going. yes, you can fight it. There's things you can do to slow it down, things like that, you know, mask the appearance, but it's happened, you know, and nothing can naturally change that. You know, the fact that it started to go is a fact. You cannot change that. And so that's why, when you reach that point of kind of like acceptance, and however that comes, you know, for you, it's been that this a journey, like you said, first with using the medications, now prioritizing different things in your life. It sounds to me like those things have really allowed you to look at the hair loss and the problem of the hair from like a different perspective, right? And kind of be in a much more
perfect.
clear perspective. And yeah, this is what I've kind of thought about for a long time. So it's always interesting to hear it, you know, from different people, and how they've kind of, because we kind of all figure it out in a different way. You know, we all kind of get to that point in a different way. And I think that's why I like putting these videos out there, because I feel like it can save, if there was something that someone can relate to, and it can actually save people a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of time, you know, and they can almost kind of get there sooner. However, you still do need to kind of go along the journey yourself. So that's really true. And of course, as you said, prioritizing mental health is such a thing that messes with your mind, so to speak, for lack of a better phrase. You know, just being conscious of it. So I'd love to hear more about, yeah, I guess how you've kind of prioritized your mental health and things you've worked on, or like we spoke about, that different perspective, how you've made progress in that area.
Yeah, I think it's also to do with, you know, not everyone has a family and kids. For me, it's not about the woman. There are, women will always be there. I think mental health has to do with, look at yourself and how you can improve yourself. And if there's do what's good for you. And if there's someone in your path respecting your vision and do the same, they do what's good for them, and you meet up, that's a beautiful person you've just met for the rest of your life. And you will have I can see you want to say something.
No, I love that, because dude, I mean, I had the exact same experience as yourself, and I love that. It's like, if you honestly, if you're like chasing that thing, if you want the family, if you want the success in job and all of those things, if you look after yourself first as a priority, those things will fall into place. You know, they really will, because they'll be attracted to you for all the right reasons. You know, you don't need to fake anything. You don't need to mask or cover up anything. If you're genuinely looking after yourself and being the best you can be, those things fall into place. So I'm so happy you've kind of, you know, it's worked out that way for you. And you mentioned that point, because it's a really good one.
Yeah, and then again, how does it look? Like, I tell my kids we don't have money to go to, say, wherever they want to go, or what if they want to go to a fancy restaurant. And I'm like, we don't have money, but I'm standing and drinking my pills and using my spray. Like, I do have to take care of myself, but in the grand scheme of things, like a family, that doesn't make sense to me. And I think where mental health comes in, it's looking at, it's not just you, it's being happy with the people you have close to you. It's with what you want to maybe pursue or try in life, the people you want to attract. And I think if people are trying to I've never said this, stick to their hair, or trying to get the best hairstyle, then they could attract people that will just be kind of negative energy around you, because you're trying to constantly hide it. But if you go, you know, just shave it off, then you generally attract people interested in you, and they really don't care also. So now, buying these pills, it's a lot of money. And my wife actually asked me, I found your YouTube channel about a week ago. Like, I never knew about, I never really searched, because the pills help. I can buy more, and I can grow back my hair again. But I told my wife, so I'm gonna shave it off, and just like, don't you wanna buy new pills? Because there's a stronger one which worked before. Just do the same thing. And I'm like, this isn't about getting hair. It's about, I know there's something in my mind that's wrong that I need to fix. And finally, I have the guts to stand up and say, I'm beating this. I don't care what people think or if she even approves of it. It's something I need to, like people go to rehab, people just stop alcohol. Like this is also like, this is only in my mind. And if I'm not going to sort this out, it's going to influence people around me and etc. So I told her, I'm not going to go for the pills. I'm choosing to just accept. It's not about accepting me. It's more about I'm accepting not to see myself through others' eyes. I think that's my issue.
Yeah, and I think it's once again the point you mentioned about prioritizing yourself. Doing it for yourself. Just so we can relate a little bit. So I was in China. I've been back in the UK now for a year. Before that, I'd been living in China, teaching English in China for 5 years. And I went out there when I was 24. And
Same year.
yeah, oh really? My wife, she's my wife now, but back when we were dating in China, she's Chinese. Back when we were dating, and I had the same thoughts. I was in a space where my hair was going, and it wasn't super noticeable, but I was afraid that someone was going to notice it and was going to call me out. My wife would like share videos with me of like all these different treatments and do this, and my in-laws were like, oh, you need to take this vitamin and you need to be, this, you're not eating properly and all of this stuff. Anyway, ultimately I just said to her, I was like, listen, I am tired of like worrying about this. I need to do this for me. Like I'm not gonna let the worry of what other people are going to say and think stop me from like doing this for me. And I think it was that like absolute commitment. And I even said to her, like back when we were dating, I was like, she never mentioned it. She was never like, oh, you're going to look really ugly, like if you shave your hair. But I thought, oh, well, she must have been attracted to me because of the way I look. Of course, that goes into it. And I said to her, I was like, if the like look I've got now is so like important to you, then you're going to have to like move on, because that's not going to be me anymore. I was like, I'm shaving it off and that's going to be my look from here on out, like hands down. So there's, there literally, I was like, not in a nasty way because I didn't want her to leave, but I was like, there's the door. Like, if you can't do it, then you know, and of course that's not what she happened, because she was like, with me for me. Right. And I think it was more the fact that she could see me like making that decision for myself and for just to be happy, and feel good about myself was way more important than how I would look like walking next to her down the street and things like that. So that was a relief, because I didn't expect that to happen to a certain extent, being in Asia and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to like, give you a bit of background on that, because there's things I can, relate to there.
Yeah, I saw some of how you looked like with hair and on your head.
Yeah.
And like a surfish styler. And I actually, okay, just as we spoke about sport and outdoor events and stuff, now that you mention it, I've never actually thought about it so deep. I just know I've not done many things because of my hair. First, I wrote running because the other day at my school, at my school year in Japan, I also teach English. So they asked me to run on sports day, and I said no. And I was a professional runner.
Oh, really?
I was really fast before coming here. And I told everyone they call it jiko shokai, like self-introduction. I was a professional runner. I'm 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meters time. And they say, hey, it's almost sports day. We want to see you run. And I'm like, if I run, it's going to look like Vegeta. It's literally like a McDonald's sign, almost. And I'm like, no, it's about the students. I told them it's about the students. And in my head, I know it's about the students, but I'm just justifying it. And that's not fair. So I said no, and I didn't run. And I felt so upset in myself because I'm still fast. I didn't want to win. I just wanted to enjoy and be myself and have fun. And I couldn't. Then also like swimming with my kids, going to the ocean, worrying about the wind or the hat you wear. I'm South African, and we have a really big rugby culture, and I play rugby. I like to tackle people. That's my favorite. And when I came here, we had my wife told people, yeah, my husband is South African, and they're like, does he play rugby? And she's like, yeah, I love rugby. So anyway, and they invite me to play with him, and I'm like, like my hair is kind of, I don't want to be a professional rugby player, so I'm just gonna say no, because why do it? And so there I also justified the situation, and it comes down to, they're both are true, but the one you want to do you're not doing because you're choosing to have this mindset. And I think we both are now choosing the other mindset, just be ourselves, and many people stick to this side, like justifying everything they do. I'm not going to take this door because of the wind. I'm not going to get up early, go to work early so people don't see me whatever happens. But yeah, so I went once and then I didn't go back.
Yeah,
to play rugby.
Because of the it's again interesting, the hair thing, things that you want to do, things that would be good for you to do, that you enjoy, and yet again not going through with them because it's you're conscious of the hair, and it's not like you said, it's not like, oh, I don't want my hair to look bad. It's largely, oh, people are going to notice that I'm kind of losing my hair, and that's going to be embarrassing. I'm going to not feel good about that. I don't want that to be the focus. And it's a shame, isn't it? I think but these are the things that ultimately I think lead to this decision of just accepting it, because you genuinely miss out on life, things that are enjoyable in life because of it. And the big one, like you said, being able to run and enjoy sports day and having a good time there. But you kind of know that whilst your focus should be on that, enjoying it, your focus will be elsewhere. You'll be crossing the finish line and like, oh, sorting, how's it look, sorting the hair out, or pictures, things like that. You'd be like, oh, I hope there's no like pictures going around or anything. And it's just no way to live. It's no way to live like that. But I think these are the things that really lead us to this decision of just, there's got to be a better way. So yeah, they all kind of play their part in the journey, so to speak.
We all basically worry about something. I have to do this, or my hair isn't fine, or I didn't shave, or everyone is so in their own mind. When they see something different, for a few seconds they care, or they react. They don't care, they react. And then everyone's just going on with their own thing anyway. I bet you I go to school on Monday and people will, they will look at me because I'm a teacher, but like, it's not going to last very long. And even if it does, it's just going to be that initial shock, because they've known me for like 4 or 5 years. So everyone is worried about something, or is busy thinking about something in their life. They don't really care about other people they don't know. So that also, like, if you speak to someone you love and say, I have a problem with my hair, and they say, what? So like I called my mother. I watched your videos. Okay, that's another topic. But I watched your videos, and I'm like, I'm just gonna tell my mother also. And I called her 3-4 days ago. I told her, yeah, this is happening in Japan. Life is good, everything. And also, I'm gonna shave my head. And she's like, wow, that's nice. Like number 4. I'm like, no. Well, number 4 is maybe the longest it will get. And she's like, no, like go number 4. And I'm like, I have like a problem. I felt so, I've never spoken to my parents or any friends about this. Now it's really easy because I already accepted that. I told my mother, and she's like, yeah, you've always been kind of like shy about your hair. I didn't want to tell you, but don't be mad at me. But I see you staring in the mirror. And just like, I didn't care. Like my face would be lines, sleeping lines and stuff, but just my hair, I'm like, this hair here, there. So people knew, but they didn't really care.
Yeah.
But just I did.
And you said you watched the video, and is that the one where I suggested, listen, if you're something that we don't do enough that can actually really help is just speak it out to someone, you know, like get it out there and talk about it. So I was the same, you know, I growing up, and if I had like, I don't know, insecurities or issues, I never would like go to my parents and be like, oh, this is how I'm feeling really down about this. I just didn't do it. And so the first time, you know, it's very nerve wracking, you know, and it feels a bit strange. Um, and so did you feel better after you spoke to her about it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I didn't like, I feel better. I felt like, wow, I've really changed. So it kind of like just confirmed that it's not who I was. You know, maybe people struggle with it for a long time and they change. So I'm a like a grown up person in my own mind.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly where, you know, when we speak about confidence and like lasting confidence, it's things like that really give it to you, you know, um, or really make you realize like, wow, actually, you know, we talk about confidence and how to be more confident. Where does confidence come from? And it's like doing something that you were afraid to do, or doing something that you haven't done before, and then kind of like assessing it. Those are the things that really make you realize where your confidence actually lies, you know. So being like, oh, I don't really talk about this stuff with my parents or my mother, whatever, um you know, because it's awkward, or I don't want to. And then you do it, and then like you said, it's not like, oh yeah, I feel so much better now, but it's like, wow, I've done something that I was kind of not, I didn't feel comfortable doing, and I kind of feel better about that, you know, and it rolls onto other things. So again, it's a powerful thing, you know, just being like, right, I'm going to put my fears aside and just speak it out. And it's fine, you know, like you said, it's fine. It's just fine. And it's not, um, people aren't then replaying it over and over in their head. Like, oh, how does this guy look? Right. They're just like enjoying the conversation or whatever. I'm going a bit off topic here.
Yeah, but I'm with you.
You're with me.
Yeah.
Good, good. My big thing was, right, when I do it, I'm no doubt they're going to ask me why. Like, why did you do that? And obviously, I could have said like, oh, I just kind of like the look, or I wanted to change. So, how do you think you're going to respond to them when the students, you know, I had kids like 5 years old, like, why don't you have any hair? Or like, you know, they'd be like, why don't you have hair? And I would even tell them like the situation. So yeah, have you thought about that? Like what you're going to say to these guys when they ask you?
I think that's my biggest challenge for Monday. The challenge is not to explain it or to lie. I think that the challenge is to say it in Japanese as short as possible to as many people as possible, because I'm gonna, you know, say it to hundreds of people, because I have many schools and I know a lot of people, and I would love to know what people would have said. But I think I'm gonna say something in the lines of, um, my hair is getting less, so shaving it is much better for me. Something, you know, just
Yeah.
simple and not complicated,
Yeah.
because yeah.
I did something. So you can speak Japanese, right? You can speak Japanese. So that's not an issue. I in Chinese, I literally said to people, or eat kids, you know, kids, my colleagues, whoever, like even my next door neighbors and things like that. And I was like, my hair, I think I said, yeah, my hair was falling out. It didn't make me feel good. So I just shaved it off and now I feel better. And I was just like that. And they were just like, oh, all right. Some kids would be like, oh, why was it falling out? You know, they were like, why was it falling out? And I just said, oh, for some people, it just happens, you know, for some men, their hair just falls out when they get older. And then they
In
were just like,
Chinese?
yeah, yeah. And then they were just
Or
like, oh, all right. I was like, okay, cool. And yeah, like literally a week later, like no one, that was it. I just looked like this from then on, and no one ever said anything like about like, oh, how it was before and what like. Some actually, that's a lie. Some of my old colleagues were like, oh, why don't you grow your hair back? You know, they were like, why don't you grow your hair back? And I was like, I can't. Yeah, I was literally like, it doesn't grow back. Like it's falling out. And they were like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And I was like, yeah, it really is. Those are always funny. But again, and that was the end of that conversation. You know, I think as long as you're honest and you tell them like what's really going on and why you did it for yourself, people respect that. You know, they are any culture, people just respect that, and there you go. They move on from it, right? So you'll be
yeah, I think that many people have their moment of, some people slide into this, progression or change. But for me, it was, in the mirror every morning. And I just thought to myself, why am I doing so much effort, spending so much money just for other people, get that, what do they call it? Just people's
Reassurance,
approval.
validation.
Yes, that's perfect. Just to get some validation. I spend so much money, and I'm basically saying no to other things, but I'm choosing to be validated. And I thought to myself, that's like a click in my brain. I said, I had enough. I'm not. Am I valuing my own opinions or my own, what I think about me more than what others think of me? And I'm like, yes. And I speak it about on my YouTube channel. Like, I sell Japanese books, but now and then I make a video and I say value, and mindset stuff, a lot of mindset stuff. And I'm like, I'm speaking all these things, and suddenly it clicked. I'm like, I'm becoming someone different, and I believe in this. And so I went on YouTube, and I'm like, I'm kind of like thinking, what should I do? Should I just shave it off? And I found your channel, and I think what really helped me was the 1-minute clips of many people just speaking about it. That's really good. With all this, like, just gym, studying, life, family, like, I really don't need hair to make me happy. So, and then it clicked, and then I never, like, went kind of back to, I want hair. So that's, I think my moment was seeing and just deciding, I think more of me than, seeking validation. So
I love that. No, that's the one. Yeah, right there. I think that's perfect. And it comes, I think that realization comes to people in different ways. As I mentioned before. So again, I got to say, I'm really thankful for you coming on and sharing this moment and this, your own story, because there's so many people out there, like I said, going through this, and from all different places in the world, all different backgrounds, experiences. So I think my aim to get was like, I wanted like almost like a library, right, of like 100 people, and it's going to go way beyond that. But so it's like a library. I think of like a bookshelf of like guys who have like had their hair loss experience, and then they're like, oh yeah, I can relate to this one. Pick this, and yours will be one of those stories on the shelf. So dude, thank you so much, man. I'm so thankful.
After 12 years of struggling with this, it just feels so much better.